The Nintendo Game Boy had one of the longest and healthiest lifespans for any game system ever. This was made even more surprising due to how underpowered the system was. I mean, for crying out loud, the only color it could display was ass green. The Game Boy was so successful mostly because of its amazing library of games. We all know Pokemon played a huge part in why it was so successful, but Pokemon didn't release until very late into the system's lifespan. So what other games convinced people that this piece of shit wasn't just a piece of shit? Well, Nintendo had just the game. Super Mario Land is a 1989 2D platformer developed and published by Nintendo. In this game, Mario travels to Sarasaland to save the princess there named Daisy. Daisy got kidnapped by the evil alien Tatanga, and as always, it's up to Mario to save the day. Right off the bat, the music in this game is absolutely incredible. They really pushed the Game Boy's sound chip to its limits. Another thing you'll immediately notice is that the visuals in this game aren't really the best. This was a very early Game Boy game, so the developers didn't know how to fully take advantage of the hardware yet. As for power-ups, the Fire Flower is not in this game, instead replaced by the Super Ball Flower. With this power-up, you can shoot balls that bounce off any surface they hit. On one hand, you can do some really cool snipes by ricocheting your Super Balls off of the walls. On the other hand, if there's an enemy walking straight at you, then you gotta get really close, or else the ball you shoot will just bounce into the heavens. The physics and controls in this game are a little weird. It almost has the opposite problem as the original Super Mario Bros. In that game, the controls were a little too slippery. In this game, they are slippery sometimes, but most of the time they're way too stiff. But the real star of the show here are the levels. World 1-1, the introductory level that does a great job showing you the ropes. Something that will immediately stand out to you is that this game has very unique enemies. You have Goombas, but you also have Koopas that shells fucking explode. Koopas are insanely annoying in this game. Their hitbox is huge while their hurtbox is small. There's also these jumping bug enemies that take multiple hits to be killed with the Super Ball. That is one annoying thing about this game, as it's never clear which enemies take 1 hit, 2 hits, or just can't be killed with the Super Ball. The way you finish levels is also different in this game. You can complete a level by going through a normal exit, or you can do a platforming challenge to get to the top exit, which rewards you with a bonus game that can give you lives or power-ups. World 1-2, this level has trickier platforming. It introduces semi-solid platforms, as well as these flying enemies that drop spears. World 1-3, the first castle level, and it is no joke. This level sees you avoiding falling blocks, piranha plants, and sphinxes that shoot fireballs. World 2-1. This level features a mysterious liquid at the bottom, with fish bones jumping out of it, and man did they jump high. There's also a seahorse that spits fire, and tight platforming across semi-solids. Watch out while you're on the bridge, as you can get hit by the fish bones very easily. World 2-2. This level has moving platforms, metal blocks, and robots! These robots shoot half their body at you as a projectile. Other than that, this level is probably the hardest challenge so far, as it features elements from almost every other previous level. 2-3. In this level, Mario pilots a submarine as you blast your way through enemies and blocks. The screen is auto-scrolling, meaning you have to go by the level's pace rather than your own, which is very annoying as it means you're desperately waiting for the screen to catch up with you. But overall, it is a fun level that even has coins that spell out Mario's name, as well as a fun boss at the end. 3-1. This level is insane. This might be one of the hardest levels in the game. There's floating moving platforms, and you have to avoid bullet bills coming out of pipes, run on a falling bridge, overcome flying Easter Island heads, and running Easter Island heads. What? Not only that, but there's bouncing boulders that you have to platform on top of to avoid spikes or getting crushed by other boulders. 3-2. This level hosts a variety of things that stand in your way, including spiders that jump down from the ceiling, spikes that fall down from the ceiling, and whatever those things are. There's also more boulders. Come on! 3-3. This level features tight platforming on top of floating platforms that move up and down and side to side, and some even move diagonally. This level also has you avoiding rolling boulders, rather than in previous levels where they were used as platforms to help you. The boss at the end throws boulders at you that you need to use as platforms to jump over the boss. 4-1. This level has an amazing ambience with the incredible soundtrack and background. Gameplay-wise, it features piranha plants coming out of pipes on the ceiling, as well as human ninjas that follow you and jump. At the end of the level, they spam a bunch of the ninjas and bullet bills. 4-2 is home to walking flowers that shoot projectiles above them. Those enemies are seemingly what inspired the Patuis in future games. The level also has fireballs that travel in a circular motion, and a lizard that spits projectiles. 4-3. In this level, you ride an airplane. It controls the same as the submarine, but this time you're avoiding flying chickens, blimp-looking things that shit out bullet bills, and flying glowing orbs. Towards the end of the level, there's hands coming out of pipes, as well as a mini-boss, followed by the final boss, Tatunga. Tatunga is insane, but I beat him first try because I'm just built like that. After all that greatness you just played, you get to listen to one of the best credits themes in gaming. Overall, this game is really solid and really goes to show that power isn't everything, and you can make a fun game even on a system as weak as the Game Boy. Finally, you get to cheat on Princess Peach with your brother's crush. What the fuck, Mario?